Today's theme, the organism and the condition of its habitat. Организм и условия его обитания. Plan of the lecture. Plan. Либих минимум law. Это закон минимума Либиха. Tolerance law of Shelford. Это закон толерантности Шелфорда. Range of tolerance. Это диапазон толерантности. Xenobiotic and eurobiotic organisms. Это организмы xenobionты и эврибионты. Liebig view of the limiting effect of environmental minimum in the bracket 1814. Shelford tolerance law. The law limiting factor is the basis of theoretical justification size, maximum allowable concentrations in the bracket MAC of pollutants. With regard to pollutants in the bracket xenobiotics, the lower limit of tolerance does not matter, and the top should not be exceeded under any circumstance. The law of the Liebig minimum. There are different formulations of this law, but the essence of the law of the minimum in the bracket or the law of the limiting factor can be formulated as follows. The life of an organism depends on many factors, but the most significant at every point in time is the factor that's most vulnerable. In other words, if some of these factors in the body deviate significantly from the norm, then this factor is at the moment the most significant, the most critical for the survival of the organism. It is important to understand that for absolutely the same organism at different times, such critically important in the bracket of the otherwise limiting factors can be completely different factors. The same judgments apply to entire ecosystems. At this point in time, a limiting factor may be, for example, a lack of food. At another point in time, the amount of food will be normal, but these limiting factors is the ambient temperature in the bracket too high or too low. Рамазан присоединился, что ли?
Я здесь.
It is important to understand that for absolutely the same organism at different times, such critically important in the bracket or the wise limiting factors can be completely different factors. The same judgments apply to enter ecosystems. At this point in time, a limiting factor may be, for example, a lack of food. At another point in time, the amount of food will be normal, but the limiting factor is the ambient temperature in the bracket too higher or too low. On the slide, you see the barrel of Dobenek. Factors of change in population. For certain values of factors created the condition most favorable for the life of organism. These conditions are said to be optimal in the corresponding area on the scale factors values optimum. The more derived from the optimal values of the factor, the more inhibited the livelihoods of individuals in connection with this distinguished area of their normal life. Value range factor beyond the boundaries of normal life which individuals become impossible is the limit of endurance distinguished between lower and upper limits of endurance. The law of tolerance of Shelford is the law according to which the limited factor of prosperity can be at least at the maximum of the ecological factor, the range between which determines the amount of tolerance in the bracket endurance of the organism to this factor. On the slide, you see dome tolerance. Consistent patterns of distribution of insects is a thermogradient. You see on the slide. You see temperature, zone preferendum, quantity insect, etc. The reaction of individual of species 1 and 2 on the effect of one factors. A. The meaning of life optima are equal. Yes. B. Mismatch optima. C. Optimum is shifted to the boundary endurance. Stenobionts in the bracket from the Greek stenos, narrow, limited, and